6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I showed up to the sparkling cider house.
Whoa.
Cider house. Say,
Onomatopoeia.
bash, bam.
Wham. Thank
Back.
you, ma'am.
Bring back Bowser's Bodacious Barbecue. Okay. You want to do a check? You want to do a mic check?
Check.
Good?
Yep.
All right. And I'll just... Oh. I was recording the whole time. Guess this is just going to be the intro for SMSoup. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SMSoup, the number one podcast with soup in the name but not on the brain. I'm Spencer. And together we are here to take you on one of the biggest and best adventures.
We're going on a late night adventure this time.
Where we ask life's biggest questions. Like, waiter, how's the soup made? Shelby and Spencer looking good.
They're dressed up.
For this episode of the SMSoup podcast.
I'm wearing pleather pants.
I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts.
It was all knee.
All knee. All knee, baby. All knee. Shelby, how you been? How you been? We got
pretty good.
We have to record 2 episodes because we're going to be gone next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doing a little bit of pre-recording, which is always fun. Never, ever, ever ends up in somewhat half-assed episodes or half ideas. Never.
Oh no, the listeners get a little less or don't listen.
Oh no, it forces us to only talk for 40 minutes instead of an hour. Oh no.
We don't really have a set time.
No, we kind of just stopped talking at some point.
We fluctuate between 40 and an hour regularly.
It normally is when one of us is gone. All right, I think we talked about this enough.
Yeah.
Cut it. But how are you doing?
I'm good. This will probably be a shorter episode.
I know.
Let's go. We're married today, too.
Just today. I put both rings on, so my finger is feeling heavy.
You're goddamn right it is. Yeah, the size of that fucking rock. So we're going on a cruise.
Yeet.
We're doing a little cruise vacay.
Yep.
Cruises are bad.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
They're really terrible, actually.
We're hypocrites again.
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of mixed feelings. And I can't wait to come back and be more passionate about all of them. I'll be like, but you went on a cruise.
Yeah, this is you doing like an inside job.
No, I don't even want to make it feel like I'm rationalizing
going to the engine room.
Uh-oh, I'm the captain. No, but I gotta get me some bonine. So I'm not hopefully
I feel like
dead.
Because everything we do is probably bad.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like we drive cars and stuff like that.
Right.
And I feel like I didn't realize just how bad cruise ships are.
Really? I mean, they're literally floating like luxury, unnecessary, probably like chemical dumping, really little oversight governmentally.
I get it. But I don't know. I just thought it was like
increasing the tourism hell wheel that is tourism.
Well, no, hang on a second.
To a degree.
Tourism is good.
To a degree.
Right.
Everything in moderation.
Right. Like, Hawaii is like a double-edged sword when you think about it. Because tourism in a lot of ways has ruined the islands.
Yeah.
But it also helps bring in money for the island and stuff.
But you get into a cycle where when that becomes your biggest form, you're then playing this like, well, it's what's like our economy's based on. And it's like, that's not always good for your economy to be based on that. And oftentimes you've been kind of forced into that situation. which is very very popular
thinking back,
situation.
I don't know how you would do this, obviously, but like we stayed at a resort technically,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be great if like, I don't know, maybe they were, but it'd be great if like, because resorts always have like dining options like on the like resort land.
Yeah.
It'd be great if those were like, it was mandated that those had to be like native, which I think the one was. I think the one was
When you
like
say native,
he was a Hawaiian native and had his like restaurant there. He was like that big famous chef, right? Right? I
I
think.
believe. I don't know that much,
I
but
don't know either, but like, you know what I mean? Like it should be like
yeah.
mandated that like it has to be like like a local business, basically.
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, I love that idea. I mean, when it comes to,
because I think the idea of like
when it comes to people who are working there, most of them probably are natives, and the big problem is probably most of those jobs aren't well paying enough for the cost of living in the area.
that too, yeah.
That's a huge problem.
I mean, like, because like a resort is overall good in terms of housing tourists.
Yeah, right. Because it's
just
more,
like,
yeah.
But if like there's a McDonald's on the resort land, like how that doesn't help anybody,
Right.
Right. So double-edged sword, tourism, double-edged sword, because it can ruin areas.
I think,
but it can also help breathe life into an area. It just sucks when an area needs to depend on tourism, and that's kind of the situation Hawaii has found itself in.
Right.
In a lot of ways.
And then not to mention, like, even when a group of people or a like state or whatever, an island has gone, hi, we're going through our resources too quickly. Please lower what you're using. And the only people who get to say no to that are the resorts and the people who, like, because of course the tourists still have to have the best experience possible.
Right, of course.
That's obviously even further crossing the line in terms of extremely fucked up. When a native person there has to, like someone born and raised Hawaiian, has to limit their water usage. But, I mean, how many like golf courses and shit are on the islands of Hawaii that like have to be kept pristine? Very hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
Very hypocritical.
What fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, that does it for this week's episode of SMSoup.
Talking of travel, someone, not me, just came back from a Miami weekend. And specifically a bachelor party.
Yep.
Which, what else do you do in Miami besides go to like a bachelor party? It's like why people go to Nashville. You go over there for a bachelorette party. It's obviously you can go there for other reasons, but I feel like there's Miami's a very bachelor party place from not being from Miami.
Sure.
That's how I perceive it.
Yeah.
I know there's so much more to it than that.
There's not.
But yeah, so how was that? You said you had lots to tell.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to give like a little review of Miami.
Yeah.
48-hour review. So yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So Miami Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was on South Beach or not.
Okay.
So
Spencer doesn't know where he is.
I'm just gonna call it Miami Beach in general. The water is like taking a bath.
Yeah.
So warm. So warm.
I mean, you're really far south.
Very far south.
Right.
Didn't realize just how far south.
I always forget where Miami is. Like you're not far from the Keys.
No, not very. Miami's very cool. It's a very cool city.
Well, no, it's hot, but
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Everybody around you is very cool, and honestly, like, so I don't know. I don't know the point of a bachelor party.
Me neither.
Yeah. Like I don't think the point is to hook up and all that stuff.
Right, like that's been deemed as like I feel like the very movie.
Yeah, but also like it could, I guess. Like that could be what you like settle on.
Well, because the whole idea is it's your which is insane. Your last like weekend of freedom.
Yeah.
Which if you've already been with the person,
you haven't had a free weekend in 8 years, brother.
No, I just like the concept is insane that like, oh well, while dating them you're free to do whatever, but while married to them, lock and chain, baby, ball and chain, whatever. Yeah. It's insane concept, but a concept that is what it is.
Yeah, so I don't really understand what the purpose is.
No.
So, but anyway, as somebody who's already married, Miami
and didn't have a bachelor party
and never had a bachelor party.
I feel like it's important to point out.
Miami is, stay with me on this.
Okay.
It is the perfect city to go to and to like already be married.
Okay.
If
what city is bad like to be married? Sorry, continue. I'm just laughing.
Well, okay, so there are a lot of hot people in Miami.
Right, of course.
And there's a lot of wealthy people in Miami. And when you manage to fill both of those circles and you are the Venn diagram in the middle, you're typically a very like vain and like not so nice person.
Yeah, I get that.
And a lot of people in Miami, I feel like, also fall into that category.
Oh, interesting.
And so I feel like trying to score in Miami would not be enjoyable.
I mean, you were in an incredibly touristy part of Miami.
Yeah.
So like probably a lot of people you talked to weren't from there.
Did go to like...
No, I hear you. I'm not like completely arguing with you. Like obviously I wasn't there. But like, I can totally see your thought process. Miami's the type
of thing where because like it's so hot.
Yeah.
Perfect opportunity to wear less clothing.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So you're going to bring in those types of people still too.
Yeah,
you're going to bring in attractive people and people with a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And then somehow I was there. So I like the way I see it is like it's the perfect city to go to when you're already married because you get to just
there's like no pressure.
Yeah, you don't need to put in any of the effort. Yeah. And you get to just kind of sit back
and watch
and like look at all these beautiful people.
Uh-huh. Feel like you're in an art gallery.
Kind of.
People.
Literally. And you know, like you can look at somebody and be like, that guy's a dick. And I don't need to talk to him.
Right.
But holy shit, he's gorgeous.
Right.
And like that woman is probably so awful to her maid.
Oh no.
But wow, she's very pretty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I'm so happy I don't need to hold a conversation with you.
Right.
But I can like sit back.
And you can be in the atmosphere of them, but like have nothing to do with them.
So it's like kind of great in that sense.
Yeah.
And like in that regard, I'd recommend. You like to people watch and stuff like that. You like to just like look at people,
Yeah.
And like everything is so overly like sexual, like not from the sense of like you can't wear whatever you want and it not be for sexual reasons, but like it does, no matter what, like it does still invoke that reaction.
Okay.
And the perfect example is the waiter that we had for our lunch the first day was just wearing the shortest of shorts. Just so fucking short.
Yeah.
So fucking short.
That's funny.
And he also has never skipped leg day.
Right.
I mean, he just had, he could have crushed a watermelon between those thighs.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm sorry. I saw a video of a guy who was like trying to show off his like bicep. And so he crushed an egg.
Yeah.
And literally then like the skinniest girl was like, put it in her arm and just like smacked it. Yeah. And she was like, I'm so strong. Yeah. And I was sorry. Yeah, continue. That was it.
It's an old.
I know. It just makes me laugh.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm so sorry. Thanks. Just gorgeous person, literally your waiter.
No, just like, no, that's just like all of Miami. It's just, it feels like everybody is trying to wear. There's a lot of sexual tension.
Okay.
Because everybody's.
Yeah, I kind of see what
everybody's
you're saying.
kind of dressed skimpy and.
Yeah.
Flaunt it if you got it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's great. Like, again, No pressure whatsoever.
Right.
You get to just kind of enjoy and sightsee.
Right.
So I had a great time for that reason alone. Literally, I was just like, I've never been surrounded by so many beautiful people.
I do feel like...
And I'm sitting here like a fucking thumb. And a lot of people are like, I heard people say, like, how the fuck did that guy get in here?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like so many... No.
Oh.
No.
No, and I mean at you, I meant like other people. That people were just like openly like, how'd they get in here?
People weren't that mean. They
That's
weren't that
crazy.
loud if they were that mean.
Right. I do feel like just based off what you're describing, I would feel out of place because I probably would in my head been like, I didn't bring anything appropriate, or I would literally sit there and be like, jaw dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I personally felt like...
You were really like staring at people?
No, I felt like if anything,
I
felt like I was a zoo animal.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I felt like people were looking at me.
You were the out of place one.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I stuck out, I feel like.
Right. I know you were texting me a little bit and you were like, maybe I should try this. Everyone down here is wearing them.
Yeah. So like so many people.
Maybe I should try that. Everyone's wearing them.
The outfit is like, because if you go out to like clubs or any nightlife, you like have to wear pants.
Right.
And so a lot of people
blows my mind to wear pants in Florida.
Opt for chinos. It really wasn't that uncomfortable. If you're like moving, and then the second you're standing though, it is just awful.
No, but yeah, I like can't envision that.
But if you're moving, you don't notice it at all.
And that's good.
Yeah. So, but also I don't really sweat that much. So maybe I was just...
I'd probably be sweating.
I was just wearing jeans. So...
Right. But yeah, sorry. So you have to wear pants. So the general uniform was...
oh yeah, for like if you go like, you have to wear like pants. Yep. So a lot of people were wearing like chinos.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody looked like good.
Yeah, of course.
Like in them.
So annoying.
It is. It's just like it is. It's so annoying. It's just everybody's so effortlessly beautiful.
Right.
And yeah, I look like a troll. I'm the ogre. I'm Shrek.
Do other people have man buns?
I think I only really saw one other man bun. It was the last night we were there. So the second night we were there. I saw a man who had to be in his like 60s or 70s. He had a man bun.
Whoa. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. No, not too many man buns.
Yeah, I kind of was guessing that.
So another reason why I guess I stuck out, huh?
No, I don't know. I couldn't quite picture that being like the go-to style down there, but doesn't mean I'm wrong. Doesn't mean I'm not wrong.
Yeah, totally. So the first night we went out to dinner, and it really felt like, you know, if you're gonna be in Miami for a bachelor party, like it's kind of understood, like what some of the events are going to be, just because of how like great and vibrant the nightlife is in Miami.
Right.
And so we went to a like pretty, I feel like prototypical. The best way I can describe it is it was a Hooters with like Spanish flavor.
Yeah.
Like every waitress was, and it was all like waitresses basically.
Yeah, right.
And all of them literally were like wearing corsets to really show off their assets, if
Cleavage.
you will. Yeah. And really like put it in
They
your
were
face.
actually wearing corsets?
Mm-hmm. They were like,
wow.
It was like a corset type top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just kind of like, yeah, this is your typical like, objectify women sort of establishment, but it's not a strip club,
right?
But
like you're definitely getting tips.
You're definitely
because
and
someone's definitely probably hitting on you.
You're definitely like supposed to look at their cleavage and all that. The wild thing was that two performers just randomly started like twirling fire, and they were like these two chicks who were basically just in like a basically just in like a lingerie set.
Okay.
So like half naked, twirling fire, super dangerous. Like I was scared. And they were doing like the like twirling thing, like not where it's just like on both ends. It was almost like they were wearing brass knuckles.
Uh-huh.
And then there was like a fan out. And
Yeah.
all of them had a marshmallow at the end that was on fire.
Okay.
They're all like torches that, yeah. So they had like 4 or 5 sticks that were burning. And that was like the thing that they were kind of like twirling around and like able to like make look all like crazy and stuff. And this one chick, really fucking freaky, kept like dipping it onto her tongue. I did not like it. I did not like it.
Made you nervous?
Yeah. Yeah. And also like, I don't know. Something about I mean, there's something about twirling fire in general that makes me nervous. But 2 girls with like very long hair, not wearing like flame retardant clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared. I was like, there's some violations happening right now. So I had to make sure I watched the entire show to ensure that nothing bad happened.
What were you gonna do if something happened?
I would have leapt up. And I would have. I don't know. You're supposed to pee on a burn wound. So I was wild. And again, it was like one of those things where it was just kind of like an eye roll. Like, I'm like, this isn't normal. You don't just twirl fire. But in Miami,
they're to have a
when
party.
you're doing a bachelor party,
Yeah.
The other thing that was just very like eye-opening, I guess, to the fact that everybody there is literally spending so much fucking money.
Right.
Is that like at this particular establishment, there was, I keep saying it like that. It wasn't like a strip club or anything. It was literally a restaurant. So I just want to, I'm not trying to like subtext establishment.
Right.
It was literally just a restaurant. It was a Hooters with a dream. You could do like just got engaged, or because everybody's there for a bachelor party or a bachelorette party.
Right.
And so you can get people, or like when you go to a restaurant and you say it's so-and-so's birthday and they'll come over and sing. Well, they'll come over and they'll like have this sign that says something related to. So a lot of times it would say like, she said yes, or that was the one that I think I saw the most. I'm trying to think. One of them might have said like happy birthday. Yeah, I can't remember any of the others, but still, it was that, and then it would like come with like 4 bottles of something, or something. Sorry, 4 bottles or something. I don't know, champagne. I don't know. So many. Saw so many.
Like everyone there was for something.
It was like every 30 seconds. It felt like they were coming out and they were like dancing with the sign,
right,
and giving the table the bottles. And the bachelor that we were with, I think he thought he was going to get that. And so every time that they came out, and I don't think he wanted it.
Right.
Like, I think he was kind of nervous.
Right.
That each time they would walk out, he was like,
please tell me this one's not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And somebody else who was in the group asked, like, did we get one for him? And they were like, no, the lowest tier was $1,000
for a sign to come out.
4 bottles. And I don't know if 4 bottles was the lowest tier. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, then there was a mariachi band, and they were fucking fire. They were so good. They were the highlight of my weekend. They were so good. And they were like, you know, typical mariachi yell singing and all.
Yeah.
And then like back to, they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. They did like a 3-song set. Then they came down. Then they went back up. And as we were leaving, then we saw the flame dancers again. So it's obviously like a very much like back and forth. Those are the 2 like entertainment things. But I saw the mariachi band twice. Only saw the flame dancers once.
I'm sorry. I'm in shock that thinking about the money this business is making,
the mariachi
by
band,
being like, pay the money and like it'll be an ultimate memorable experience. We'll come out with a sign.
But it's not even like a crazy experience.
You know what I mean? know, but I'm saying like this, like
getting a table at a club.
Clearly, the idea they've sold is working now, and that is mind blowing. And
it's like something I didn't think about is like, so we didn't end up going to any of like the clubs and like having our own table.
Right.
Half the group went out. I didn't. Half the group went out and did like general admission to one of the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Just like wait in the line, pay your fee, and then you're in.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about it, but like really the only way to actually like hang out in the club and like hang out with somebody else and like be able to like buy a drink or like give a drink to somebody and like that whole thing, which I think is like the prototypical how you think about going out and trying to like meet somebody or something like that, is like you out and like you have to buy somebody a drink and stuff like that. Impossible to do apparently in like the club.
Really?
Like you like the easiest way is to be like, I have a table over here, and then you go back and it's like, let's have a drink. And if you don't have that like little hangout spot, like
good luck.
Kind of good luck like chatting up with somebody or anything like that. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like, not anything I can relate to.
You're spending so much fucking money to like, oh man, dude, that's just nuts. I don't know how that's like anybody's like scene, right? Because you know there are people like that.
Yeah.
It's not just people in the club. Well, I guess maybe who are there for like bachelorette parties. Like, there's no way.
Right.
You know? So it's just crazy. Crazy.
That is crazy. I really wish I would have now read. Apparently someone published an article about like what bachelor and bachelorette parties have become today. And I feel like it would have been a great time to like reference that article, but I didn't even get a chance to read it yet.
Yeah.
Very like, I think it was pretty like opinionated. Like I believe the perspective it was written from was like, like whatever, financially don't feel comfortable like spending the amount of money and putting in the amount of effort I'm being expected to put in. And like me saying anything is like I'm the asshole versus just like wanting to celebrate someone in like a lot more of a less intense manner.
Yeah. I mean,
which has become quite a theme. Like bachelor and bachelorette parties are becoming crazy. And again, like always been like, I guess fantasized is crazy and televised is crazy. But in terms of like what I truly ever envisioned, like neither of us had that. But if anything, I would truly envision like a close friend of mine having would not be anything crazy. Like what I can truly picture someone in my life doing would not be like some huge extravagant thing. But that's become like incredibly normal to have just insane thematic, at points multi-thematic, like so many mini games mixed into it. Like they're becoming like so extravagant.
Right.
Just crazy.
Yeah. No, 100%. And Mike and I were talking about it because I was explaining to him that I was like doing this weekend and stuff. And we were like talking about it and like just being asked to go to somebody's wedding, not a big deal. But if you're asked to go along on like the bachelor party or you're a part of the wedding party and like are expected to go to the bachelor party, bachelorette party, you're on the hook for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money. Unless everything is exactly where you live.
Right. Even then though. Because like having to like rent or buy the clothing, like you're probably like helping at the events and like. But no, I know. Like obviously the less close you are, the more intense it all gets.
If you don't live there, like I'm not even talking about the clothing. It's like literally the travel. And traveling to the bachelor party. And then obviously you got to travel back from the wedding. You have to travel back from the bachelor party. If you go to either of these things, you're going to have to pay to have a roof over your head at least for one night.
Right.
Because odds of you driving or leaving or flying or whatever at the the day coming into the wedding and then leaving and somehow catching a flight after the wedding
are like impossible.
Insane. No way.
Or just so exhausting.
Yeah. So like you can rack up a bill pretty quickly. And like, and to your point, like if you say no, Or you put your foot down and say, like, this is getting a little fucking ridiculous, don't you think? You're the asshole.
Yeah.
Because you're ruining somebody's special day or whatever.
Degree, I agree with the sentiment of, like, if it just isn't for you or, like, whatever, I do think, like, you should back out over, like, strapping yourself to, like, something you don't want to do, something you, like, just can't do. Like, I do think that. But, like, it absolutely would be like, wow, why'd so-and-so back out? Like, what the fuck? Like, I could absolutely see a lot of people reacting that way.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
I mean, there's been, like, multiple, of course I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's been multiple articles posted about, like, because people, I say our age vaguely, like, semi-younger millennials, whatever, what? Are, oh. I just feel like I, like, turned to look at you and then it feels weird being just staring at you. But I'll say semi-younger millennials are in an age where, like, lots of people are getting married. And so you have maybe one wedding a year, maybe you have 2 to 3 weddings a year, you know, like, it all starts to add up. And then depending on your, like, close circles, I mean, even say you're just a guest. That means, let's say 2 to 3 weddings a year, which we know plenty of people who are in those situations. You are buying them gifts. You are, like, paying for whatever it takes to get to and from their wedding, probably housing near their wedding.
You're looking at easily, like, at least $500 each time.
Each wedding?
At least.
If I need, like, a hotel and stuff.
Because you imagine that, like,
absolutely.
You imagine that a flight is going to be $200 to $300.
Right.
Like, round trip.
Yeah, it probably
could
more
be 500.
with how it's been. Yeah.
It could be 500, yeah.
Right.
But you expect $200 to $300.
Assume a hotel is $150 to $200 a night.
Right. So if you only need it the one night.
Right. Let's just say you pay $200.
And the round trip flight, that's another $200 to $300. So that's $500. And then, like, probably you're going to spend $50 to $100 on a wedding gift.
Right.
So you're looking at
and
anywhere from, like, $400 to $600.
Depending on the event, you're renting an outfit, you're buying a new one, you're, like, whatever, needing,
that,
like,
you could potentially hope to use another time.
Agreed. But, like, again, you just, like, know the patterns people fall
wedding,
into.
You're basically on the hook for $500 to $750 probably.
Yeah.
Anymore.
That's a lot. And that's only if you're a guest. That's not if, like, because now there's, like, multiple, there's, like, oh, we get together for the bridal shower, you give a gift then. There's, like, all this little shit that has been tacked on to, like, celebrating it. Yeah. That depending on your relationship to people, depending on how you just feel about these things, that's only adding. Again, not to mention you even being, like, a part of a party or something. Right. Then easily double all that money.
Right.
It's just crazy. It's really crazy to think about.
So anyway, back to the bachelor party that I went to. The mariachi band was fully clothed.
Disappointing.
Missed opportunity. Trying to think if there's I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really wanted to hit on when it came to actually in Miami. Oh, because we were in Florida. I had an interaction with somebody where a bunch of us were, like, crammed on an elevator and 2 people squeezed in. And we were like, yeah, there's room. You can squeeze in. And they were like, yeah, COVID's over. Like, COVID's not a thing anymore. And then that's the guy said it. And then the woman who was with him was like, actually, my friend just tested positive. And I think, like, you could hear a pin drop in the elevator. And she's like, oh, I wasn't with them. And we were all like,
oh my God. I mean,
it was just, like, typical.
Props to, like, kind of saying something.
Like, typical Florida man to just be like, yeah, COVID's not a thing. It's just like, have you not been hearing that cases are spiking again?
Yeah, it's literally
you fucking leathery asshole. The fuck is wrong with you?
It's not like it was ever really accurate. It was never accurate to say COVID's over, but it's literally, it's respiking. Yeah. So, like, now is really not the time to be saying it.
Other thing, disappointing things. Miami, Scarface, you think, cocaine. I only had one person try to sell me cocaine.
Really?
Yeah. is as we were walking into the casino, guy came up to us because he could see just a bunch of guys, young, hanging out. How do you want to spice up your weekend? He was like, I got weed if you guys want any. And we were all like, no, we're all good. Thank you very much. And he goes, got cocaine too. And
just
I think he
throwing that in there.
He either said Molly or ecstasy, which I think is the same thing, but I don't know. I don't know my party drugs.
I love just the openly.
Yep. Very open.
You know where to get it.
I have cocaine. Okay. And I am good. Thank you. That was unexpected. I expected it more.
Yeah.
Especially because
I guess would you have been more disappointed if it didn't happen at all?
Yeah, I would have actually. 100%. I had it in my mind. I was like,
right.
There's 100% chance.
Right.
You're in Miami.
Right.
And maybe if we would have gone out to a club, maybe I would have gone lucky and witnessed somebody do cocaine.
Yeah, that would have been lucky.
I would shit my pants in that situation.
Yeah.
If I walked into the bathroom and just saw somebody doing a line of coke, I'd probably let out like a very, very classic like golly, and like turn around and leave.
And
then I'd fall down the steps. Go owie 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 owie.
You would just be like a hard nope, but immediately turn back around. You're like, I don't have to be that bad.
You're like, nope.
I'm out. But at least one guy asked you.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Thank you.
I was like, oh, thanks. I'm good.
I had this on my bingo card.
But yeah, that was kind of crazy that it only happened once. So yeah.
So it was a pretty good weekend.
It was a good weekend. We went to a Miami football game, University of Miami. That was a lot of fun.
I'm sure, yeah.
Like just being in a college football atmosphere and
a very passionate college football atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, they like to root for their team.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, overall it was a fun weekend. It was good.
You said you had, I believe, an airplane passenger story to tell?
Yes. Wouldn't be a travel story if I didn't have a travel story. So going to Miami, both flights, I had an aisle seat.
You got lucky.
Which when you're 6'4",
and you're randomly assigned a seat.
Glorious.
Right.
So I tried to like. You good, fam?
Yeah, just spill a little bit of wine.
So knowing that I was in the what is the worst part about the airplane?
The worst part about the whole airplane?
Wait, what's the worst part about boarding an airplane?
I mean, obviously just like waiting for people. And that it's not actually like in any order. It's just like chaotic, like people trying to get past each other. And
so if you have the
aisle
seat,
is worse for that.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Is
you get on before both people.
There,
and they're not together.
Right.
And so then you have to get up once and then you have to get up again.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle seat, you only would have to get up once.
Right.
If you're in the window seat, you should try and get on right away. The other annoying thing is people like, you listen, if you're going to the airport to catch a flight somewhere,
as opposed to going to the airport,
don't fucking stand by the boarding area if you're not just going to actively like walk to get onto the plane.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're going to actually wait for your boarding group to be called, like I really don't fucking care. If you are boarding group 9 of 9 and you want to go stand in line and go up to the door when they call group 4 and they let you on, good for you. That does not affect me.
Right.
Don't stand in a fucking somewhat orderly fashion.
Right. I hate that.
And not like, because they called my boarding group. No. So I was boarding group 6 or 7. And I wanted to wait until 7 or 8. Like I wanted to wait for the one after me because of being in the aisle.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's so many people standing here. So I walk up and I was like, this is perfect. I'll be fine. And nobody's moving. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You guys are fucking assholes. You're assholes and you're fucking insane people. Literally just just walk and get on.
Right.
What is like, why are you hovering right here?
Right.
So annoying. So annoying. Like what? Like you're not gonna miss it. You're good. You see it. You're fine. Take a few steps back there, Johnny. So anyway, that was really annoying. And coming down to Miami, I was in the aisle seat and I was the first one in my aisle on. So then I had to stand up and let people in.
Must have been really hard.
It's the worst. It's the worst. And then the guy who was in my aisle and in the window as we were flying, like getting close to Miami, I just heard him go, "Oh, he just flew over a Trump golf course." And I was just like, fuck you, Florida man. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Also in the airport, use headphones. So then coming home, and I'm just dying, and I just want to be home. I'm tired. I'm a little cranky. And I get on the flight, and this time, I was the last person in my row to get on, and it was glorious. I didn't have to talk to the people in my aisle. I literally just plopped my bag down, slid myself in, buckled myself. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to fly. The dude to the left of me, across the aisle, is literally the worst human being to ever exist. He is the worst case traveler. I get on. He already has his...
I never understand that tray table down. He has his tray
table down.
Yeah.
And he's typing away on his laptop. He is the first person in his row on the flight.
Oh, God.
Somebody comes down.
Yep.
Needs to get into the aisle. His backpack wasn't under the seat.
It was just between his legs.
It was just to the left of him in the other person's foot space.
Oh.
Like the middle seat's foot space.
Uh-huh.
That's where he had his backpack.
Uh-huh.
So he takes his laptop.
Uh-huh.
He takes the backpack, puts it on the middle seat, doesn't lift up his tray table or anything, and then just holds his laptop. And the other person needed to like slide in. And I think they were the window. And then I think for the last guy, I think he pulled his backpack out into the aisle. But it's just like even when he went back in, he didn't just like slide his backpack under the seat in front of him. He still just put it back in like the middle area. Just an absolute dickhead. Just an absolute dickhead. So then his aisle fills up. So I don't really remember what happened with the second one. Then they're like doing the whole like safety stuff, and somehow the flight attendant walked by him and didn't fucking notice that his tray was still down and didn't say something. And I was like sitting there and I was so giddy and excited for this guy to just be told like, "Hey, fuckface, lift up your tray table, put your goddamn laptop away," because they tell you about 1 trillion times no large electronics. Like,
right.
Like just like has like no regards for the rules. And I don't want to be like fucking Richard Rule follower, but also it's not that hard. Like, it's not that hard. And like, if somebody said, like, if the flight attendant says, put your phone on airplane mode, just fucking do it. If they say don't have any large electronics out, just don't do it. Like, if I was a flight attendant and I needed to tell people to like stow their fucking tray table and stow the little mobile device holder, I would go fucking insane, because you're told how many times. You're told how many times in those automated messages, I should not need to fucking tell you. It would break me. It would ruin me.
Yeah, and I see it on every flight I get on.
Every flight.
I've never seen.
Every goddamn time. Somebody in a middle seat thinks they're going to fucking get away with it. They think, I'm going to pull off the perfect heist. I'm going to have my mobile device down, and I'm going to be watching Gossip Girl the entire time. And I won't need to have it in my fucking grubby little hands. It'll just be sitting there for me perfectly. Fuck you. Oh my God, it's so annoying. And like every time I need to watch them do it, a piece of me somehow dies.
Yeah.
So he actually did put his laptop away and everything before the flight attendant came back again. It's like the flight attendant walked by and it's almost like he was like, holy shit, I got away with it. Type, close. He put it away, stowed it and everything.
Right.
Good. The man proceeds to open mouth cough into the aisle about 30 fucking times the entire flight. Just doesn't even attempt to cover his mouth. And like, I wish I didn't have just the worst like anxiety and just like the worst like millennial complex of like, I'm just not going to say anything.
Right.
Because I wish I would have told this dude off. I wish I would have been like, bro, like, I don't even care if you do it into your hand at this point.
Right.
Fucking cover your mouth, you absolute animal.
Right.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with people? And it was like a gross cough. It wasn't just like a coughing fit, like water went down the wrong pipe or something. You like have to like get some out and you just like, oh, I couldn't get it in my mouth. I couldn't cover it fast enough. Like, right? Like, I get it, right? It could happen. No, it was just like intentional, like phlegmy, like into the middle of the aisle every like 5 to 10 minutes.
That would have driven me crazy.
And he also had his fucking foot out into the aisle.
Of course he did.
He literally was just like the worst human being. Just could not believe it.
The worst airline traveler.
Then I thought I was going to watch a grown-ass woman break down into tears. Because what is the actual worst part of the flying experience?
Onboarding.
Yes. And my flight took off about 15 minutes later than I was supposed to. And there were apparently a lot of people on the flight who needed to catch connecting flights.
That's scary.
And they say over the speakers, like, please be aware of like your fellow passengers who need to get off the flight. They do a whole spiel.
Yep.
They go through it all.
Mm-hmm.
And the second the fasten your seatbelt light turns off, what happens?
Everyone stands up.
A trillion people all at once stand up and move into the middle of the aisle. And people in the back were fairly good about it. And maybe the people who were in front of me did actually need to like stand up.
Right.
You never know.
Right. But you know definitely like not every person who stood up. Yeah.
In front of me. They're like the person behind me like stood up. Yeah. And like they kind of like stood up and were just like, oh, I guess I can just move up. And then moved up.
Yeah.
And so this woman ends up getting stopped right at my aisle. And I was like row 21. There's probably what, 30 some. So I'm like I'm like in the middle of the plane.
I feel like
I'm in roughly the middle. So I don't know how far back they started, but she's stuck in the middle of the plane. She's got her relatively old mom, I'm assuming, or mother-in-law with her. And then I presume her husband was behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't remember hearing where they needed to go, and that's really not that important, but the husband, in an attempt to like try and help calm her down a little bit, goes like, it'll be all right, like maybe we can catch another flight.
No.
And it was the last flight
probably for the night,
for the day.
Yeah.
To wherever it was that they were going. And she was getting
very anxious,
very emotional, very angry. And it's also one of those things where it's just like, is she blowing it out of proportion?
Flying's stressful.
You just never know. Right. It is.
I really like don't blame people for getting a little worked up. Not for being an asshole. People are absolute assholes when it comes to flying.
I also think, as a general rule of thumb, you should never schedule, if you need to have like a layover, you should always opt for an extra buffer. And I don't know
sometimes you can.
I don't know what their options were.
Right.
No, I know. But like, I could not believe like how many different flights were like brought up. And like some of them were like, and if you're trying to catch that flight to Baltimore, and it's just like, there's got to be a trillion flights to Baltimore every day. So if you literally could only line up this one, I find it a little hard to believe. And I think somewhat shame on you. But I also understand if they're 8 hours apart, not wanting to spend 8 hours,
right?
Like land in a city, spend 8 hours, you're not going to fucking leave and go through security again.
Also, like airlines are so not dependable.
100%.
Like a million things change.
I get it to a degree. I just don't understand how we're in the year 2023 and we have not found a better fucking system for this shit. Literally.
No, yeah.
And it would take this amount of caring.
Right.
So small.
Right.
Literally. It's almost like we're in a fucking assembly And like you need your teacher to be like, okay, now this row can leave, and now this row can leave, and now this like so that's almost what it feels like we need to do. I don't understand why we don't board from the back up.
Yep.
And I don't understand why we don't deplane from the front to the back.
Right.
Furthermore, when these flight attendants are going down and up the aisle all throughout the flight, they should be letting certain aisle, like they should literally be doing that. They should be literally going, like, now you can go. Like, now you can go. Now you can stand up and go. Now you can stand up and go. And they should be going up and down, and they should be stopping at row 26 where the person in the middle seat has a connecting flight that they need to hit, and they go to row 26 and they go, it's your lucky fucking day. You're going to get off the plane first from all the way back here. You were the 5th person to board and you're going to be the first one off. I hope you're happy. That's how they should fucking do it. It's not that hard. You can make this an efficient system.
Right.
But you leave it to the general fucking society to just create the rules themselves, and nobody follows them. Right. It's like the rules of the road, the unwritten rules. It's like, fucking write them, because nobody's going to follow them. Nobody's going to take a second and think about anybody but themselves.
Right.
In any of these situations. And I'm standing there in the middle of the aisle blocking this woman behind me, and I don't feel bad about it. Because I need to get off this plane right now. I'm in my final destination and I want off this plane. I wasn't standing, I was sitting, and I felt really bad for her. Because I could see how stressful it was, and I would not want to fucking be in that situation.
Right.
It pisses me off. Again, it would take zero effort. Zero extra effort to like add a little order.
Right.
To the situation. And if you're in row 26, you've sat for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Sitting for another 15.
Right.
Is not going to kill you. Just wait your fucking turn.
Yeah.
Don't be a turd. If the person in front of you is like, hey, I'm gonna have to get my shit from up here. Just go. Just get off. I don't want to hold you up. Count your blessings and get off. Otherwise, sit there and just fucking wait.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. I can't stand when I'm sitting and people start passing me. Because I'm just like, what is your fucking hurry? What is your fucking hurry?
I agree. I never get up until it's like, relatively speaking, within my row area to start getting up, getting my bag out. But yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever been on a plane closer than 20 rows. So I'm always waiting, and that's fine, because really, why cause more chaos? I just don't really see the benefit of it.
You cause it to take more time.
100%.
By quickly whipping around somebody and causing them to slam on the brakes, you're just making things suck for everybody else.
Right.
And it didn't benefit you in any way whatsoever. Saved you milliseconds.
Yep.
Oh, well, if I'm an economist and I'm going to sit here and tell you there's no such thing as a free lunch, I'm going to tell you that time's also money. And so those seconds add up. Yeah. If you do that on a plane, you're the fucking worst. I just couldn't believe that. I just can't believe that we're fucking animals. Then, this is turning into more about me complaining about travel than the actual Miami review. Then, as I'm waiting for my knight in shining armor to come pick me up, I'm just watching, again, there's just no order to what people are doing.
Yeah.
They're cutting people off. They're just, stopping 3 rows in the middle of traffic.
Yeah.
I can understand, 2. I guess there's, 5 rows. So maybe the third,
5,
maybe the third row even, as, a quick hop in. You have people just parked where it says active loading only. And Charlotte has a cell phone lot.
Most major airports.
They have a cell phone lot not 5 minutes from the fucking airport.
Right.
That you can sit in. And your little honey can text you and be like, I'm ready.
Here. Yeah.
I watched a woman just go out and stand in the second row of traffic. Got to make sure my person sees me. there's so many, like, how many times did I tell you, like, I am at 1.
Yeah.
There is a section of 1s.
Yeah.
You will see me. I've now moved that I am in between 1 and 2. It's super obvious.
Right.
There's tells.
Right.
There's landmarks to give people.
Like, generally, that part of the airport is generally very well organized.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I told you I'm between 2 and 1, and somehow we were on the phone, and you were still like, "Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are." There's only one place to look, and I'm 6'4". How do you not see a monstrosity standing there?
There was a lot going on.
But yeah, this woman's just like standing, and it's just like, I low key hope you get hit. You know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and all that. And like, she just had a look about her. You could tell she just came from Miami. I have no idea. But she definitely gave off a vibe. I don't understand what's wrong with people. Or I don't understand what's wrong with me.
Right.
That I don't just do these things. That I just don't care about anybody but myself.
I just don't, unless there was a true emergency. Nothing is like important enough to like cause chaos or
there's no reason to inconvenience other people.
To like, yeah, like extremely cause like mass, like, yeah.
For such a minuscule gain for yourself.
Right.
Like standing out in the middle of fucking traffic.
Yeah.
Just idiot. It's just pure idiocy.
Like, I can just wait. It's okay. I'm really not in a rush.
You're gonna see them and you're gonna go, and you're just gonna go walk up to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They don't really need to see you. Give them the landmark. You'll see them. They'll throw it in park for 2 minutes. You throw your shit in and you go.
Yep.
You have to be seen. Well, guess what, bitch? Everybody fucking saw you. You're blocking traffic. Insane.
Traveling's fun.
How was this long? Did I complain for that long? God damn. All right. Well.
Do you feel better?
It was a little cathartic. Yeah.
A little. Would you recommend Miami for a bachelor party weekend?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, if you like want like a movie prototypical bachelor party, yeah, Miami's probably good for that.
Yeah.
I will say I don't feel a desire to go back.
I get that.
But I'm also not like, and both of us, I said this before going, neither one of us is really big in like the nightlife scene.
No.
So I was ready for bed. It's like 11, 12 o'clock most nights. And that's when you're like, that's when the club opens. It's 12 a.m.
I could never. I'd be literally, I just yawned and it's not even 9 o'clock. So yeah.
Let's go get tucked into bed.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I'm sorry I complained for so long.
Oh, it's fine. Traveling sucks.
But yeah, Miami, it's definitely fun. And I would like recommend it. And like, I would recommend it probably before you're 30. It's a young man's game.
That's fair. You know? Yeah.
But also, I saw plenty of older people and middle-aged people living it up and enjoying themselves. And honestly, if you can do that, good for you.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a very like happening place. So if you're into that, do it once at the very least.
Right.
Yeah.
The end.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had fun. I feel like I was there on the plane with you. All right. Well, as in every episode, you can get our socials in the description of the episode, or make sure to follow SMSoup Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're listening to this on audio, it is also SMSoup Podcast on YouTube for the video version. And I think that's it. So thank y'all for listening and or watching. And can't wait for the next pre-recorded episode. Bye.
Did you like my little TikTok?
Mm-hmm. Did.